Hello Geneva, and welcome to the first episode of Geneva Works. I'm Kevin Starr. Each month we'll be sitting down with a different department and learning what their role is in local government. First up, the Geneva Fire Department. Today we'll be talking with Deputy Chief Mark Einwich and Firefighter Rod Johnson. So let's take a look at the programs and operations offered by the Geneva Fire Department.
Well, first off, I'd like to thank you, Kevin, for having me here today. We're going to give you a little brief overview of what the fire department does. We're going to start with a little bit of our history. The Geneva Fire Department started in 1895. They had 14 members at that time with one horse-drawn fire cart. They had one fire station, which was actually in the City Hall building in what is now the mayor's office, the first floor of City Hall on the First Street side. The barn where the horses were kept was actually the parking lot that's next door. That's the parking lot on the corner of 38 and First Street. So today, what that department evolved with started from in 1895 is now today. We are a 72-member department. We have the chief, 2 deputy chiefs, 17 career firefighters, 6 contract paramedics, 3 command aides, and we have 43 paid-on-call firefighters. We have evolved from one horse-drawn cart. We now have 4 engines, 1 truck company, 1 squad, a brush truck. We have 2 boats that handle all our water rescue activities. We have 2 ALS ambulances, 3 command vehicles. We have a technical rescue team trailer, and we also have a hazardous materials team trailer. We have 2 stations. Our headquarters station is the station that's on Eastside Drive, and that was built in 2004, so we're celebrating 10 years now in that new facility. And we're also now in our 20th year at our Westside Fire Station, station number 2, the one that's on Fargo Boulevard. Today, Geneva is an internationally accredited agency. We've gone through an accreditation process that began with our first accreditation in 2001. We were reaccredited in 2005 and 2011, and we're coming up again for reaccreditation in 2016. The accreditation process is a voluntary process that we chose to go through that just recognizes and evaluates agencies worldwide based on predetermined evaluation criteria that look at everything that a department does, from a strategic self-assessment, and everything is designed to help you provide that path to continuous improvement in your operations based on recognized industry standards and benchmarks. That continuous quality improvement just to enhance our service delivery to the community. It definitely forces you to look at everything that you do to evaluate your organization's effectiveness. And again, it encourages and makes you complete that continual self-evaluation process, to make sure that you're delivering your services as efficiently and as in line with recognized industry standards as you possibly can. The Geneva Fire Department is what's classified as a combination fire department, meaning we have both career employees and part-time, or what we call paid-on-call personnel that we use to supplement our staffing. Training-wise, there really is no difference between our paid-on-call and our career personnel. The paid-on-call are technically part-time, but they still receive the same initial training as any of our career personnel. The only difference is, the career personnel are full-time employees of the city, and with all the benefits that go with that. Part-time, most everybody that we have works a regular full-time job elsewhere, so they're doing this on nights and on weekends. The reason why we have paid-on-call personnel is to, like I said before, supplement the staffing of the career personnel. We have paid-on-call personnel that work shift every day. There's day shift at Station 1 and Station 2 and night shift at Station 1 and Station 2. So on any given day, we'll have 4 paid-on-call shifts or slots that are open that are filled by the paid-on-call ranks every day. They work right alongside the career personnel. Everybody wears the same uniform, and we treat them as they are a Geneva firefighter. It's not a Geneva career person or a Geneva paid-on-call. Everybody is a Geneva firefighter. Everybody receives the same training, and it works very well. We use it to supplement our staffing, especially we rely very heavily on the paid-on-calls to come back when we have major incidents, structure fires, other major incidents that are going on, not only in Geneva, but in our surrounding communities that we provide mutual aid or automatic aid to, such as St. Charles, Batavia, Elburn, West Chicago. They work very, very effectively. We have a very good group of paid-on-call personnel. Some have been anywhere here from 6 months to 24 years. So we have a very good core group of personnel. Our call volume for Geneva, we run generally in the area between 2,400 to 2,600 calls per year. It averages out to right about 7 calls per day, and those can be anything from fire calls, rescue calls. The majority of what the responses that we make in Geneva are for EMS and medical emergencies, things of that nature. Probably about 60 to 70% of the total runs that we run are for EMS. We handle just about everything from fires, auto accidents, fire alarms, the stub toe, and we do have those occasional ducklings in the sewer that have fallen through. There's pretty much not a lot of anything that the department can't handle or that we haven't had to handle at one point or another. One thing we like to talk about today is keeping your fire hydrants clear of snow. This has been an unusual year for snowfall in the City of Geneva and all over the country. Time is critical for us in establishing a water supply for incidents where we need to tag a hydrant, whether it be a structure fire or a vehicle fire. One of the things that you as the citizens can help us do is if you have a fire hydrant that's in front of your residence or in front of your business, we encourage you to take a few minutes and please, if you can, dig that fire hydrant out. A lot of the fire hydrants in Geneva, the Public Works Division and the Water Department have put flags on them to help us identify where the flags are at. Some of the hydrants are flagged, a majority of them unfortunately are not. We do, in the computers that are on all of the vehicles, we do have a program that maps where the fire hydrant location is. But at 2 in the morning when it's dark and your hydrant is, the only thing sticking out of the hydrant is the top 2 inches sticking out of the snowbank, that's going to delay us in establishing a positive water supply to help us mitigate the emergency. So we ask that if you have a fire hydrant in front of your residence or in front of your business, we ask that if you could take a few minutes and dig that hydrant out. We recommend a 3-foot by 3-foot area completely around the hydrant. And that also would be if you would also be kind enough to clear a path from the hydrant to the street as well. If not, that's no big deal, but at least if whatever you can do to help us help you. I know our crews have been out, and when they've identified a hydrant, if they've been on a call, the guys the last few days have been pretty good at taking some time to dig out the hydrant after they've handled, say, a medical emergency. They take a couple minutes, dig out the hydrant, but there's more of you citizens than there are of us firefighters. And if everybody could just, take a few minutes and help us out and dig out your fire hydrant. Some good winter safety tips for ice fishing or any activities on any type of ice anywhere in the city. We do have the Fox River that runs through the middle of town. Pretty much north of the dam, it appears like it's completely frozen over. However, what ice may look safe may not actually be safe. First off, I would suggest that you can't judge ice based simply on its appearance alone. What may look like good ice may actually not be very good at all. There's some other things, the age of the ice, the thickness of the ice, and just because the temperature outside has been cold doesn't necessarily mean that the ice has been formed in the correct manner based on the water conditions and the chemistry in the water to make good, clear, solid ice, which is the strongest type of ice. The strength of the ice is based on all of those things, plus how deep is the water underneath the ice? Is it shallow underneath the ice or is it deep underneath the ice? How big is the retention pond that the ice is formed on? How wide is the river? How fast is the current moving underneath the ice? Is there already weight on top of the ice? And the unusual amount of snow that we've had this year also adds to the weight of the ice itself. New ice is always stronger than old ice. 4 inches of new clear ice can, in many instances, very easily hold a 200-pound person without any problems. But yet you can go a few feet away and have a foot or more of old ice or ice that has been frozen, thawed, and then refrozen again, and that may not hold 50 pounds. It depends. There's a lot of factors that go into that. Another thing about ice is ice very seldom freezes at the same thickness all the way across a body of water. One more thing about ice, with the amount of snow that we've had this year, snow actually acts as a very good insulator of ice. It will actually slow down how fast ice forms because of the insulating properties. If you put a foot of snow on top of the ice versus ice that's exposed to the air without any insulation, that ice is going to freeze a little bit faster than stuff that's under snow. So we always say make sure that you're very careful and clear the snow off of the ice before you go on it to gauge the quality of the ice. This slide that we have up here now is just a graphic representation of what some minimum thicknesses of ice should be to carry out certain activities. Definitely 2 inches of ice or less, we recommend that everybody stay off. 2 inches is not strong enough to support even the weight, even children. I know it's a popular thing to play pond hockey. I've seen it around town. Everybody's cleared the snow off of their retention pond, set up the hockey pucks, put their skates on. 2 inches is really not thick enough yet to be on. 4 inches, like I said before, should be able to support around a 200-pound person, just one person by themselves. You don't want to group several people together in one spot because you're going to add more weight to that area of the thing. On the slide, it does show that you need 5 inches for snowmobiles or ATVs, 8 to 12 inches for cars or a small pickup truck, and 12 to 15 inches for pickup trucks. We do not encourage or recommend taking or operating snowmobiles or ATVs or any vehicles on any ice that we have here in Geneva. If you do venture out on the ice and you happen to find yourself in the precarious position of having fallen in, I know this may be easier said than done, but the first thing that you should do is try not to panic. Make sure you have worked out your survival plan ahead of time. Try and remain calm. Contrary to what you might believe heavy clothing that you have on, your winter gear that you have on, will not drag you down when it gets wet. It actually can, in some instances, help you trap air inside the inner layers of your clothing that can actually help you float and act as a flotation device. And it can also provide you that layer of warmth to between you. If you can get water trapped between the clothing and your skin, it might insulate you a little bit. So we would say, please don't try, and if you fall in the water, don't start taking off your jackets or anything like that because you think that it's going to drag you down. It's really not going to drag you down. If you've fallen in, the first thing that you should do, remain calm. If you can get yourself turned around towards the direction that you were coming from, because where you stepped off and fell in, that immediately before you fell in, that ice was strong enough to support your weight. If you can then get your arms up on top of the ice, and if you've had your survival plan and you've had, say, if you have a pair of even sharpened screwdrivers that you can use as ice picks, get yourself up on top of the ice with your arms flat out on the ice like this. Then what you can do next is let your feet float up almost like you were trying to swim, and then just do big giant frog kicks with your feet to try and use that to propel yourself back up onto the ice shelf that you were on before you fell in. Once you get out, remain lying flat on the ice. And what you want to do is you want to roll away from that hole. Lying flat will distribute your weight over a broader area of the ice surface, and rolling away towards the direction that you came from will help you to get back to a safe area. Again, once you get yourself out, immediately you need to get yourself to a warm, dry, sheltered area, to get yourself warm again. Another thing we recommend, we just kind of went over some things if you fell in the ice yourself. If you see someone else fall in the ice, the first thing that we want everybody to do is please dial 911 and get us coming to the incident so that we have all of the, our protective equipment and that to handle the situation. The next thing you do, you need to try and resist as much as you want to, and as much as your inner voice will be telling you that I need to run out there and help this person. You're doing more help by dialing 911 and getting us coming. You need to resist that urge, especially trying to run up right next to the edge or right next to the hole where they fell in. More often than not, we have seen that instead of now one person in the water, now we have two, because they made that decision to run towards that person in distress, and now they're in a position where they have fallen in as well. There's a saying that we use in water rescue that kind of helps us. It kind of gives us some things to do in order when we're faced with a water rescue scenario, and it's preach, reach, throw, row, go. And it's just simple steps that you can do. The first thing is preach. If you're the person who is on the ice and trying to help someone who has fallen in the ice, the biggest thing that you can do is you need to preach to them and be their biggest cheerleader. Hang with me, help is on the way, keep fighting, don't go under, try and stay afloat, calm down, try and keep them calm, try and let them make sure that they focus on you. You need to be an advocate for them, need to be a big cheerleader for them. So that's what the preach part of it is. The next thing you can do is reach. And that would be if you can safely reach the victim from ashore, if you've got a ladder, a branch, a pole, a piece of pipe, or a piece of rope that you can throw, that you can get out to them, that they can grab onto, anything that they can grab onto to help pull themselves, you help them pull themselves out of the water. Next would be throw. Throw something at it. If you have some rope, it's always a good idea to have rope with you if you're going to be on or around the water, especially if you're going to be somebody who's going to be on shore, or at least have it somewhere where you can go retrieve it quickly. It could be simply an empty bleach bottle, cleaned out. You cut a hole in the bottom of it and you put 50 or 75 feet of, very small, like nylon or polypropylene clothesline. Stuff that into the bottle, put the cap back, drill a hole through it, tie a knot in the cap so that it's attached. Take the cap off, keep that in your hand, and throw the bottle out to them so it's something for them to grab onto. If they can grab onto it, sort of wrap it around themselves quickly, and then you can use that to pull them out of the ice. The next thing in line, we've done preach, reach, throw. The next one would be row. And that's something, if you had access to a light boat that you could walk or push out to the ice when you get near them, get in the boat to help support you, and then help pull them into the boat from the front of the boat over the bow. The last part of this sequence would be go. We really don't encourage any non-professionals to actually go out onto the ice or go in the water themselves to help that victim. We really discourage that. That's something, the go portion of that, if you've done everything, if you've called 911 or somebody has called 911 and we are on the way, that go should be reserved for us. But in a case, if you've exhausted all other the basic rescue techniques, and there is no help available, or there is no way to, if you're out somewhere where there isn't anyone else around, as an absolute last resort, you can go out towards them, try and do what you can in a close quarters type situation. Reach something out to them. But remember that if they start pulling you in as you're trying to pull them out, you have to be strong enough just to let go, back up, and start over again. We just want everybody to be safe on the ice and enjoy the winter. I know I'm ready for flip-flop weather, but we're stuck with the ice for a little bit while longer, so we'd like everybody just to remain safe.
The Geneva Fire Department offers free home fire safety inspections to all residents of the City of Geneva. With our safety inspections, we offer free surveys of your house to help find fire safety concerns and offer suggestions and recommendations to correct any concerns. Some of the concerns that we look for in residents is any concerns with fireplaces and chimneys, gas appliances and furnaces, safe use and storage of flammable liquids, use of space heaters, making sure that residents know where the shutoff locations for their utilities in case of an emergency, the correct use and placement of smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, also use and placement of fire extinguishers, electrical safety in the home, and family concerns and safety concerns for the children. These safety inspections are offered at any time to any resident in the City of Geneva. We will bring a firefighter out to your house and offer any suggestions that we can to make your home as safe as possible. The Geneva Fire Department offers life safety education programs in multiple ways. One of the main ways that we offer life safety education to the children of the City of Geneva is through the Geneva schools. We work closely in conjunction with the school district to offer life safety education to all children grades kindergarten through 3rd grade. We do this on a yearly basis during Fire Prevention Month in October of every year. During Fire Prevention Month, we provide at least 2 firefighters to all the schools, public and private, in the City of Geneva. We think it's important to bring a firefighter into the classroom so they can interact with the firefighters. One of the highlights of the instruction is we teach the kids stop, drop, and roll. We make sure that they're familiar with the firefighters. One of the ways that we accomplish that is we have a firefighter dress in full gear in the classroom so the children can be comfortable with him and the equipment that he uses and carries. One of the other main things we talk about is that each child and family has a home fire escape plan in their house and that they have practiced it and are familiar with it. The second way that the fire department offers life safety education to children in the city is a Risk Watch program that we offer. The Risk Watch program is a summer safety program held at the Geneva Fire Department. It's also run in conjunction with the Geneva Police Department. This program is a week-long, 2-hour-a-day summer camp type program offered to children in the City of Geneva entering first grade. There is a minimal cost of $25 for the program. Several topics of instruction that we deal with in the Risk Watch program are bicycle safety, fall safety, fire safety, pet safety, stranger danger, motor vehicle safety, and many more. The children have a chance to do several off-site visits, such as a water park, playground, and different things to keep their interest, and learn about safety and in a fun and safe environment. Remembering When is a fall and fire safety program geared towards older adults. This program is offered to older adults in different settings. We're willing to come to different environments such as older adult apartment complexes, church groups, or any other gatherings of older adults that are interested in learning fall and fire safety. Typically, the class is about an hour long, and it highlights some different things that the older adults can do to be safe and prevent falls. A couple things that it deals with is cooking safety, the safe use of space heaters, and discarding smoking materials, as well as making sure your paths are clear of obstacles and we're cleaning up spills to prevent falls. The Geneva Fire Department offers CPR and AED classes taught to the standards set forth by the American Heart Association. These classes are offered on a monthly basis at the Geneva Fire Department Station 1. The classes provided are a Heart Saver AED class, which is for the average layperson who's interested in learning how to use an AED and perform CPR in an emergency. The other class taught is the healthcare provider CPR, which is taught to nurses, doctors, paramedics, or anyone in the medical field. The cost of the Heart Saver AED class is $47 for residents and $57 for non-residents. The cost of the healthcare provider class is $57 for residents and $67 for non-residents. All classes are held at the Fire Department Station 1 at 6:30 p.m. You can see our website for a list of upcoming classes, which are held on a monthly basis. If you'd like to reach the fire department or for more information on any life safety education programs that we offer, please feel free to call the Fire Department Station 1 at 630-232-2530. There's always more information available, and we look forward to hearing from you.
We'd like to thank Deputy Chief Mark Einwich and Firefighter Rod Johnson for their insight on the Geneva Fire Department. Thanks for tuning in to Geneva Works, and we'll see you again next month.